today? Friday. How do we get down on Fridays? We do the Lashawan Qadash class, the Hebrew class, our original language, or as we like to say in Atlanta, Heberws 101. All right. This is for our people who are just coming into the language, wanting to learn, seeing the letters, the characters, the symbols, and want to learn how to pronounce them. You know, this is what we're here for. We focus on the basics so that when you have to read for a feast, read for the general, read for the Sabbath, or read for your own pleasure, you'll know what you're reading. All right? So, that being said, let's get down. And how we always start off? We start off with our letters, the alphabet, Hebrew alphabet. There are 22 letters, 22 symbols or characters. All right. Take it from the top. Here goes the pronunciation. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, and fa. Okay? So now we just pointed to the English translation of these of our alphabets or these characters. Okay? So now going over it again, because we have learned that repetition is one of the best ways to learn it. Keep practicing, keep saying these syllables, these characters out loud several times, really drilling it into our heads, okay? To help us remember. Alright, so now we're going to point to the letters in ancient Hebrew. Alright? So follow with me. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka. Remember, ka is going to look like, in the ancient Hebrew, ka will look like a ladder. Alright? Also, like this, so my letters are a little messed up. So now wa will look in the ancient Hebrew will kind of look like a wishbone, if you will. Hey, I heard Salakia. Shalom on Christ. What's this? Oh, Yahweh Shema Allah. Very good. Very good, sis. In the building. All right. Well, cool. You just caught us. We're going over our letters right now. Don't sweat. Oh, I heard another Salakia. Talk to me. Hey, brother. All right. Good to hear from everybody. Cool, man. All right. Go back over the letter. We just went over ka. Next, in the ancient Hebrew, we have ta. Then ya. Ka. Okay, remember, this ka is a little softer, all right, in pronunciation. Okay? It's going to look like a magnet almost. Next, we have la. Notice it looks just like the English L. Matter of fact, you can say it is the English L. Alright? We have ma. And na. Sa. Looking like an antenna. I. Pa. Representing a J, if you will. Taza. Wa. With the mushroom. Ra. repeating this. Remember, this is how we like to start class off. Okay, now we're going to recite our letters again for the Assyrian Hebrew. And as always, we do tend to focus on the Assyrian Hebrew. Why? Because it is the most predominant text available. All right. That being said, A, Va, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka. Okay, and remember, when we are reading the text, especially in the Assyrian text, certain letters will look alike. Okay, the Ka and the Ha are most often mispronounced. They are the most confused. But remember that the Ka will look like a staple. Okay, will look like a little staple, as opposed to the Ha, which will have a little space. It will have a space within the corners, okay? No sign of Christ. Then next we have Ta. Now, some people tend to confuse the Ta with the Sa, okay? Remember, the Ta is going to look like a horseshoe, okay? It's going to look like a little horseshoe, all right? Then we have Ya. For some reason it's not written up here, must have erased. But Ya is the smallest letter in the Assyrian language, the Assyrian text, okay? It's going to look like an apostrophe, an English apostrophe as well. And next we have Ka. We have Ka. Just like it. And of course, you've heard me say it several times, and you will continue to hear me say it several times. We have 5 letters that will change the shapes. Okay? Only when they're at the end of the word. Ka being one of them. Now, when Ka is at the end of a word, it's going to have an extended clip, and it's going to remind you of the dot. Okay? It's going to remind you of the dot. But remember, Da is not going to have an extended clip when it's at the end of the word. Okay? So I'm going to have the extended clip. So if it has an extended clip, it's going to be Ka. Right? No sign of Christ. Next, we have La. That looks like a question mark. Then we have Ma. Ma, which looks like a bell, but when it's at the end of the word, it will change the shape, and it's going to look like a square. Okay? And some people get it confused with Sa as well, but remember, when it's at the end of the word, it's going to look like a square. Okay? So now when you read the text and you see a square in the middle of a word, it's going to be Sa. It's going to be Sa, okay? Also, Sa will have this little bang at the top of it. All right, most high Christ. Then next we have Na. Na. Which kind of looks like a staple as well, but kind of big. All right? And when it's at the end of a word, it will change the shape. It will change the shape. It's going to look like Wa in the Assyrian language, in the Assyrian text. But remember, it has the extended clip. Okay? So when it's extended, it's going to be Na as opposed to Wa. Okay? But now if you see Wa, it is not extended, that is Wa. If it's extended, Na. Right? No sign of Christ. Next we have Sa. Sa. What we just went over. Some people tend to confuse Sa with Ma. But if you see Sa like this, you see this character in the middle of a word, or even at the beginning of the word, it is Sa as opposed to Ma. Right? Next we have I. I. Looking like an English Y. We have Pa. Upside down G. But when it's at the end of a word, extended clip. All right. Tazah. Tazah. crooked letter Y, crooked letter Y. Okay? We have I, but then Tazad is a crooked letter Y. And what's at the end of the word? Extended clip. Extended clip. Alright? Next, we have Qua. Qua. Then Ra. Remember Ra? Some people will confuse Ra with Wa, and sometimes Da. Remember, Ra is going to be more curvy, okay? Ra is going to be more curvy. Da is very, very straight, straightforward, okay? And Wa is kind of reaching. Okay? It reaches, all right? Behind Christ. Next, we have Sha, and then Fa. Fa. All right? Excellent, excellent. Now, let's focus on the basics again. Okay? With a few simple exercises on recognizing our letters and how to put them together. Okay? So some of the easiest ways are within names. Okay? Names and titles. Alright? So, let's do something simple. True Gashan, are you up? Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So now, let's do a couple of names to see if you can just recognize these. Alright? Really putting them together. Alright. So, True Gashan, if you can see this on the board, if you're following us on Facebook or on YouTube, pronounce this word for me. Oh, my man, okay. Absolutely. Very good. So now we see how to pronounce our names. Gashan. We saw the Ga, the Sha, and the Na. Excellent. Okay? Alright, True Gashan, you're up again. Can you pronounce this for me? My man, okay, okay, cool. Yeah, forgive me, Gashan, if I pick on you for a little bit. You're one of my favorite people. Alright. Sean? Pronounce this for me. Okay. No sweat. When you pronounce this, Yasha Allah. Yasha Allah. No hear another voice. How about you shout right? Ah, talk to me. Who's this? Hey, I was like, Yahanna in the building. Good to hear from you, brother. Good to hear from you. Okay, very good, very good. So, again, True Gashan, let me hear this pronunciation again. Very good, very good, very good. That's what I like to hear. Yasha Allah. Yashar Allah. Okay? Very nice, very nice. All right. Let's see. Let's see, I'll see how you die. If you could pronounce this for me. Say it again. Uh-huh. Absolutely, absolutely, very good, very good. Just making sure, because I do realize, that since, in this captivity, English is our foremost language, so we tend to put extra syllables and whatnot with our pronunciations. So seeing how this is written out how it's supposed to be pronounced. Tazar Yak. Tazar Yak. Very good, very good. Go ahead, come in, talk to me. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, we already have Tazaryak in the Hebrew, or at least written out in the Hebrew. Shubha Gashan, I would like you to pronounce this next word, the word that's next to this. All right, my man, Saran, Saran. And for the education of the class, do we know what the word Saran means? Look to your notes, look to your notes. Come on, talk to me, Ives. Go ahead, talk to me, Qadash. Go ahead. Very good, very good. Captain. So Saran is captain. Saran is captain. Very good, very good. All right. Okay. I need to find. Oh, yes. All right. Okay. So now, Trooper Gashan, because you're my favorite trooper, I would like for you to pronounce this word on the board. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. Huh? Say it again. Okay. Close. Close. All right, I'm gonna write it out. How I want it pronounced. Okay. How it should, it's like how it should be pronounced. All right. Hold on. Okay. Now, Triple Shine, I have this written out, and I have the emphasis on the yah. Okay. So now, when we pronounce, I want you to try pronouncing it again. See it in the board. And you know what? Hold on, Salaki. No, Salaki. I put it in the wrong place. Okay. Now go. All right. Okay. I put emphasis on the ha. Okay. So when we pronounce it, Allah Hayakum. Close. Allah ha yakum. Allah hayakum. There you go. There we go. Very good. Very good. Read it with some confidence. Very good. Very good. All right. So, like, go ahead, officer. Talk to me. Absolutely. No, you hit it on the head. We gotta take our time. We gotta take our time with this. We're not professionals with this. We're still learning. That's why we call this class Heberws 101. We're focusing on the basics. Okay? Absolutely. All right. So now here's another word. Let's see. Sister Santee, bro. Sis, talk to me. So you've been in this class for a little bit. I don't know. I might have done this word before with you. Can you read this for me?
I'm waiting on it to it's not on the board yet.
Okay, no sir. We have to do a delay in some places. Oh, all right, sis. In the building. Sabbath. Very good, very good. And how do you say this in Hebrew?
Shabbat.
Very good. Okay. All right. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. We take our time, we repeat these words so we can get them down pat. All right. Okay. In the building. All right. We're going to do a few more words, and then we'll try to get into some scriptures. All right. Let's do a little practice. I believe y'all already in Numbers. Pronounce this for me. Say that again. Okay. I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you did that because you saw letters and you're used to how we normally try to combine like the end of the word. It's pretty good, But no, that is the correct answer. No, that is the correct word. Mawa Abba. Mawa Abba. But I'm actually glad that you pronounced it wrong the first time. Because at least showed me that you are taking your time and you're trying to see how you can connect the words. Okay? So no sweat. So yeah, this word here is actually pronounced Mawa Abba. Alright? Cool. Mawa Abba. Now just in case if people would like to see it for, let's say they want to see it in ancient Hebrew, for any particular reason. And this is how you will write it out. Remember, in the ancient Hebrew, it has to be written out just like this. Every syllable is pronounced. Every syllable is accounted for. Expression in ancient Hebrew. Ma, wa, ah, ba. Right? Very good, very good. All right. Let's see, what else? What's another word we can go over? Yes. Okay. About lasagna. Pronounce this for me. I'll see how you die. Okay. Cool. Trooper Gashan, does this look right to you? Uh-huh. No. This is what I want. This way. This is actually what I need right here. That. Pronounce this now for me, Trooper Gashan. Okay. Does this look right to you? Okay. Obviously, how you die. Does this look right as well? Okay. Very good. Okay, now, just in case, Trooper Gashan, again, this is, if you give me wrong, this is not gonna just picking on you, whatnot. Again, you are my favorite trooper. But no, this is wrong. Remember, when we went over our letters, it is Syrian, And we have certain letters that will change their shapes at the end of the word. Remember, they will change their shapes. Ka being one of them. So instead of ka looking like that, we're trying to pronounce it, read it. Remember the extended clip. Alright? Remember the extended clip. Now, can anybody tell me what malak means in the Hebrew? Go ahead. Very good, very good. Yes. Malak is king. King. All right. Good, good, good. Let's see. Okay. There's another one to go over. We will see a lot of this in the text. Okay. I'll see you how you got. Pronounce this for me. Very good, very good, yes. Ma. Taza. Ryan. Very good. Very good. And again, we will see a lot of this in the text, especially in Exodus, Leviticus, and throughout Numbers. Okay? So now, can anybody tell me what Montazarion means? Go ahead. Very good, very good. Yes. Yes. Bondage. Egypt. I almost forgot how to spell it in English. So you can see it in Hebrew now. Excellent. Okay? All right. Well, enough of these words. Let's get into some phrases. All right? Let's get into these scriptures, okay? Let's see. And we can do something simple. You've seen it before, so hopefully this will be easy to pronounce. Easy to read, okay? And of course, True Gashine, you will be up first. Alright? And again, this is practice, so we can know how to pronounce these, but also just for our own, pleasure as well. Really want to get this down pat. I want all my brothers and sisters to be able to read this Hebrew as fluent as possible. Or at least just to the best of their abilities. All right? All right, so if you could, let's turn to the book of Proverbs. Like I told y'all before, one of my favorite books. Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. say Yahanna, if you could read that for me.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Absolutely.
But fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Absolutely. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. All right? You've heard me say this before. This is one of the reasons we're here now, in this class, to get instruction, to get knowledge and wisdom. Learning our ancient history, our original language. All right? Learning also how to apply it. You know? Very good, very good. All right. Now, with that, Trooper Lashawan, I would like for you to sound this out, sound this verse out. Take your time. Read it for me in the Hebrew. Mm-hmm. Repeat that part again.
Third line.
Yep. Okay. All right. Hmm? Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Boswa. All right. So we have, yeah, here it is. Yara'ath, Yahweh, Asha, the I. Okay, now you said Hakama, or is that Kakama? Did you say Hakama, or did you mean Kakama? Good job. Did I lose you? No, I could not. I was asking, okay, you said Hakama, or did you mean Kakama? Kakama. What you? Kakama. Oh. All right, my man. Okay. All right. I see you. Okay. All right. And we have. I'm listening. Go ahead. That's what I heard. Yes. Oh, no. He was spelling the, no. No sweat. The water for that. He was actually just spelling the letters for me to let me know that what he was actually saying. No sweat. Thank you for that. So we have Wa, Mawasar. Okay, to me this is the Wa, so our Yahweh, we have Baswa. Okay? And also I was asking I was asking, Lashawan, if you were saying like the ka or ha, or maybe you were trying to say ha and whatnot. I'm not really sure about that, the ha and whatnot. I know that, you know what I'm saying, like the so-called, you know what I'm saying, the Amalekite, he uses that. But at the same time, right, we also have somebody in school who goes by that, right? We don't necessarily, when we, for instance, when we're hearing, you know what I'm saying, cross the line radio, we hear Captain Tazoria. We don't hear Captain Khatazar. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We don't say Captain Khatazar. We say Captain Khatazar. So let's make sure we try to stay on that. But like I said, as far as I know, I'm not sure if we actually use that. I don't really hear that ka too often, really at all. Right? No sweat, man. Hebrews 1:1.
I'm just trying to make it sound interesting.
Hey, that's okay. As long as you just put a strong pronunciation, ka. That's it. People will understand. Very good. Okay, so now, going over one of my favorite scriptures, okay, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Right? Let's look at something else, okay? And this verse was brought to me, you know, it kind of helped me out in life, if you will. All right, let's go to Proverbs 17 Proverbs chapter 17. Let's go to verse 28. All right, 28. Let's write this out as well. Okay. All right. Remember what we just read. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. But fools will despise wisdom and instruction. Right? With that being said, obviously, Yahweh God, you could read Proverbs 17 and 28. Father Shah. A what? A what? Uh-huh.
When he holdeth his peace, is counted wise.
Ooh.
And he that shutteth his lips
Uh-huh.
is esteemed a man of understanding.
All right. So even a fool, when he holdeth his peace. So now let's look at this. Let's look at this verse, phrase by phrase. So when a fool holdeth his peace, he is counted wise. Obviously, how we gotta talk to me. Break that down, just real simple.
What King Solomon was saying right there was that if you be quiet, people will automatically assume that you are a wise man, that you have understanding, that you're not constantly running your mouth, proving that you know everything's right.
Absolutely. And you know what? And I wanted to bring this out because, like, I actually know what? I had to learn this. Like, come in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to tell everything. You don't have to tell everything. You know, you always want to look like the smartest man in the room. And the Bible talks about it. The Bible talks, even a fool, if he holding his peace, is counted wise. Why? Because, you know what does the old school say? What does the old school tell us? You can't be listening if you're talking. Right? So I have to listen when you're talking. So now, you can't get that instruction. You can't get that lesson that you most desperately need for your life. Go ahead, brother. Talk to me. right. That's right. Loose lips sink ships, man. You know? You don't always have to speak on things. Let some things play out. You know? And let the other folks show their hand. So now you can know how you need to move. You know? And Christ was an excellent example of that. He didn't tell the people his every move. He wasn't like these celebrities want to be on Twitter telling them everything. It wasn't like that. The Pharisees wanted to know his move. He asked them what their move was. He sat and listened to them, saying what they're really about. Oh, Christ. All right. Now, let's go over the scripture in the Hebrew. Okay? Book of Proverbs 17 to 28. Shine. Let me hear some more from you, brother. You're doing real good. Let me hear some more. Huh? Hold on. Say that again. Start over for me. Gone. There we go. Okay. Writing my certain letters a little too big, okay? Cool, no sweat. All right. So now, so far we have gone, all y'all, or all y'all. Still trying to see the exact pronunciation of that. I want to say all y'all. Okay? So we have gone, all y'all. Start me from the second line. Shoot the shot, if you don't mind. Tom, all right. Okay, good. So now we understand that the last two letters are a Yahweh. That's how we're going to pronounce it. So now with that being said, this. Hold on. So this more likely has to be the root word. Huh? Oh, it is? All right, try it again. And if you do have it, huh? Okay, good. My man. There you go. Shapakiwa. Good job. Keep it going. All right. That's what I like to hear. Talk to me. Who's this? Go ahead. I wrote it wrong, didn't I? I sure did. But you know what? Still, despite the fact that I wrote it wrong, Qadash read it correctly. He read it correctly. Yes, sis. Go ahead.
I just have a quick question about one of the symbols, like word that second letter. I don't understand what that is. That which letter is that?
Okay.
This word with the second.
No sweat. Let's get to it.
Okay, we're not there with one more. That's coming from the top. Sorry.
No sweat. No, you're good, sis. You're good. You're good. Okay, so I got my first line. You know that. Are you talking about the fourth word?
So start counting from the bottom up, right? So it's me from right to left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me say the fourth one, from the top to bottom.
Okay, from top to bottom.
About if we count it from top to bottom,
Yep.
into word above where you're writing. The word right above.
Yep.
They can't find it on the alphabet.
Okay, no sweat. Okay, so now, just in case, I'm going to circle. Or at least point to it.
That right there, we can, right there, yeah.
Very good. Okay, no sweat. Now, your first letter should be Ka, as in CHA. All right.
And I got that. So go right onto there where your hand is. Right onto. Directly underneath, like down. No, when you talk about the top.
A Tom. Right here.
No, under that. Right under. Right there, you see. So go down.
Okay. I forgot that we do have I forgot that we do have a Latin.
Here, where the like is, I guess.
Okay, right here. Okay, okay, very good. Thank you. So you're talking about a Tom.
Yeah, right here, I don't.
Oh, okay, no sweat. Okay, so now that is a Tom. All right. Take a look in your alphabet. All right. Now you should have if you either wrote the letters or if you have a sheet that was already given to you. You should see a letter.
I never received a sheet.
Okay, no sweat. Okay. Now, did you ever write the letters down?
I have them all. Yeah. The one I can't find, I don't know if it looks like me.
No sweat. All right. So real quick, let's go back to our letters on the board. Okay. So now it should kind of look like this one right here. Remember, I know I tend to write a little funny, but it's supposed to look like a horseshoe.
Okay, no,
It's supposed to look like a horseshoe, right?
all right, thank you.
You're welcome, sis. No sweat. Okay, so now we have that in mind. Let's take a look again. I know I'm running a little weird, but do you see the horseshoe now? Absolutely. Good. Okay. So now, we have gone, y'all, Kamaryash. I believe it should be pronounced Kamaryash as opposed to Kamaryash. Yes. Kamaryash. I wrote this one wrong. I wrote it as Kasa. It should be Kakum. Like it for that. Then we have Yakashab. Yakashab really impressed me on that one. Very good. You sounded real fluent with that too. You sounded very fluent with that. Yakashab. Then we have Tom. We should have Shapathgawa. Then number 1. Naba 1. also delved more into that, and we saw that even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shut up his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. Why can you be Come on in, talk to me. Uh-huh. Yes, I do. Mm, absolutely. Absolutely, you're right. You're right. And as a matter of fact, that was my train of thought. That was my train of thought. You know, and it says, and he that shut up his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. And how can you be esteemed as a man of understanding? Why? Because people are talking, you are not speaking. You are not speaking. But sometimes you just might have something foolish to say. Whether it be on your end or the fact that they don't understand what you're saying. And so they'll take you as being foolish. But if you know the truth, you know when to speak, how to speak. See? What do we say how the old school said? You can't be listening, you're talking.
Right.
My man. You can't be listening. You're not listening, you're talking. You know? And you especially will learn that in the truth. Why? Because you have men above you. You have men over you who are always teaching you somehow. They're always teaching. Always teaching. Okay? And when you're in their presence, you learn, hey, I don't need to talk right now. Just let me hear what they got to say. Alright? Most High in Christ. Alright? Now, let's look at some more scriptures. Alright? Oh, and good reading, Lashawan. Good reading. I can tell that you've been practicing. Sound good. Sound good, brother. Can't wait to hear you at another Sabbath reading or another feast coming up. All right. All right. So now, let's look at another side of being foolish and talking a lot when we don't need to. Okay. And even though some scriptures might point out, they might be universal, as they'll say, like, you know, saying a fool, because that can go for a man and a woman. Sometimes, you know, some scriptures will point out, some scriptures will point out a man alone, and some scriptures will point out a woman alone. All right. In our next verse, we'll point out a woman alone, but this can also go for effeminate men as well. All right. So now let's go to the book of Proverbs. Let's go to chapter 9. Chapter 9, verse 13. Chapter 9, verse 13. Officer, if you could read that for me. When you have it.
Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13. A foolish woman is clamoring, she is simple and knoweth nothing.
No sweat, no sweat. A foolish woman is clamorous. Let's see. Did anybody look up the definition of clamorous? Please. Anybody have the definition? Go ahead.
Making a loud and confused noise.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Okay, so I heard loud. Confused noise. So did you, okay, confused noise, did you say like a sensible noise?
Confused.
Did you say practical noise?
Confused.
Okay. Did you say a knowledgeable noise?
Confused.
Okay, confused, all right. And what is another, what is a synonym for confused? Going along with this text, with this context? Uh-huh, go ahead. Go ahead, sis.
I got demented, bewildered,
Ooh, bewildered. Okay, hold on to that word. You said demented and bewildered. What else?
demented, bewildered,
Uh-huh.
distracted,
Ooh, distracted.
disoriented,
Disoriented and bemuddled. Absolutely. You know what, I'm gonna have to write these things down. All right, hold on. Let me write this down for the board. Just for myself, I can remember too. Take this seat right here. All right. So I heard, and I heard a lot of words, but a few words that really stuck with me. Bewildered. You said distracted. All right. What else? What was that second word that you said for me? After dimension.
demented, bewildered,
Bewildered. Okay. Uh huh. Disoriented. Okay.
perplexed,
Perplexed.
distracted,
Okay.
a day, person, or whole.
Okay. Very good. I'll take perplexed. You said disoriented. All right. Go ahead, Drew.
Looked up in the Merriam dictionary, the biblical definition for clamor is the loud, it's defined as din, D-I-N.
Mm-hmm.
And din means a loud, unpleasant, and prolonged noise.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, now, obviously now you got, what was your definition earlier?
Making a loud and confused noise.
Confused, that's the one I really like right there. Confused. Confused. So clamorous is a loud and confused noise. And then since you had another definition for clamorous, am I correct? And that one was with bewildered, distracted, or perplexed, correct? Hmm? Okay. Very good, very good. All this for clamor. Uh-huh. No sweat, no sweat. We got enough. We got enough. The water says. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, okay, now, and the reason I wanted all these different words for clamorous, okay? So now, because, going back to the scripture, he said, a foolish woman is clamorous. Says she is simple and she knoweth nothing. Okay? So then look at all these words that can go with clamorous. A woman who is bewildered. She is distracted. She is perplexed. She is disoriented. And the main one, she is confused. She is confused. Right? And going back to our initial if he closes his mouth, right, and just listens, sits and listens, and just if he can just do that, he can be esteemed as a man of understanding. So you see the scripture here. This scripture talks about a woman specifically, at least a foolish woman, when she opens her mouth too much. When she doesn't know when to be quiet. She doesn't know when to listen. Okay? And Yahawashi, we don't have women like that in the truth. Okay? Because they come from the world and they realize that being loud and clamorous keeps them bewildered. It keeps them distracted. It keeps them perplexed, disoriented, and above all, it keeps them confused. It keeps them confused. As a matter of fact, when a woman has all these traits, you know what else it keeps her from? It keeps her from having a good man in her life. It keeps her from having a good man in her life. As a matter of fact, even for a man, if a man is all of this as well, if he is confused, bewildered, distracted, perplexed, disoriented, guess what? That man, it keeps him from having a good woman in his life as well. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's why we really have to dive into these scriptures, man. We really have to follow after these scriptures, man, to help our people, to help brothers and sisters. You know, if I had been shown this scripture years ago, I could have avoided so much trouble. I could have avoided so many headaches and heartaches. But I had to learn the hard way, hey, to not talk so much. Don't show your hands so much. Sit back and listen. How many of our brothers and sisters run their mouth too much in the world? And now because of that, they don't have what they should have. Talk to me, brother. Come on in.
What you just said is so heavy, you know what I'm saying? And the scripture also says that it does as well on the top of the roof and in the house of the dragon. I'm just paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Words, whether they're in English or they're in Hebrew, they have effect and they have power. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're used in a harsh way or a manner to try to hurt someone's feelings or something like that. You know, those words that you use, you know what I'm saying, whether you male or female, you know, you can really hurt people by just a word. You don't have to thought like what you say hurt people, you know what I'm saying? We see it all the time, you know what I'm saying? We see it with the last presidential administration with Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? His words, you know what I'm saying, destroyed what was already a shithole country and made it even worse because the racists that come out just based on these words.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Come on in, sis. Talk to me. Oh no. I can appreciate that, sis. And what the beauty of that is that the beauty in this is that you understood. You understood. You were not confused anymore. You weren't distracted anymore. You learned your weakness. You learned your weakness. Say, hey, I don't know how to stop. At least you can say that. At least you can say that. It's just like with the crackhead. The crackhead can say, hey man, I don't need to be smoking this stuff. Alcoholic can say, hey man, I don't need to be drinking stuff because it will turn into a monster. But guess what Christians can't do? Christians can't admit the truth to themselves. Christians can't admit that they're bewildered, that they're distracted, they're disoriented because they've been following after lies. Christians can't admit to themselves that they've been foolish for so many years. You see what I'm saying? But your strength is the fact that you understood the weakness. And then you started working on it. So then, hey, you come into the truth. And you build, you grow. You listen more. That's what we need. That's what we need for both our brothers and our sisters. Right? Both times Christ. So now, let's see if we can read this for me. Trooper, good shine. You are up. Go ahead. Huh? Go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Oh, good job. Uh-huh. Okay, you can't tell. So now, when you get confused, this is what you look for right here. Oh, okay. Okay, it is? Okay, I got you. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. Tell you what, let me take a look at it, see where we're at. Okay. 1 second. All right. I think it looks like it adjusts, at least on my end. Would you like me to, I need to move the board a little closer? You got my help? No, it's not connected. No, it's not. There you go. Huh? Say that? Give the brother a hand, man. Yes. Good job. Good job. How about y'all? Good job. Keep it going. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. All right, that is a da. Huh? Okay, okay, I'll go ahead and tell you. I have ya, da, I, and then ha. Does that help you out? Does that help you out? I try to move it up a little bit. Okay, Most High in Christ. All right, I'll take that. Very good. Very good, brother. Very good. All right. Okay. Let's keep that going. Go ahead, talk to me. Well, you know what? How about this? You will feel that kind of way and you will like it. All right? You will be jealous of your brother reading that. You will be jealous of your brother reading that. He did a great job. Come on in. You want to read this too? You want to show off?
I was waiting on you to add all of them. But I got a precept for the inside.
Let's see. You have a precept. Where are you going?
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 8.
Okay. I'll let it ride. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs chapter 19, verse 8. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul,
on, nigga, Sean. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little jealous. Well, what's special with that?
Oh.
No, I'm talking about that he just precepts it, but I thought, I don't know, I maybe I thought he still was on, over there in Proverbs.
Yeah, we should have been on Proverbs 13. Officer Yahanna here wanted to, saying he wanted to go to the book of Proverbs 19 and 8. 19 and 8. And he actually used it. I want to say he used this precept to brag about you a little bit, to compliment you, actually. That's what I want to say. That's what I want to say. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul, and he that getteth understanding shall find good. Absolutely. Either he complimented himself, or he complimented you too. He did. Indeed, he did.
Yeah, I had one for that proverb. I had one for that proverb, 7 and 11. So we don't have to go there.
No sweat. Very good reading. Okay. But now, continuing on in the class about being foolish and understanding, that coming to the truth that you don't have to talk as much. The sister said that she doesn't talk as much, but she understood that when emotions got high, that she would get rattled. Sometimes she couldn't stop. And that is very valid. That's very fair. Hold on. That's very valid. That's very fair. That happens. And we also said that coming to the truth that you do get stronger. And especially when you understand your weakness. You understand your weakness, which in part gives you that power. It gives you power because now you know the weakness, and now you're learning how to defeat it, little by little. All right. And also, our brother, obviously, how he died, talking about being foolish and understanding that, that words can hurt. Words can hurt. Words can also help, And with that, the Bible speaks on that, okay? So now let's go to another scripture, okay? Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 21. Proverbs 18 and 21. Trooper, I would like for you to read this. I would like you to read this in the English. Bible Qadash. Okay, no sweat. I would like for you to read the book of Proverbs 18 and 21. No, verse 21.
Oh, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Absolutely. So, again, death and life are in the power of the tongue. All right, understanding that how obviously God said that how words can hurt and words can help. But now, if you are foolish, you will end up using words to hurt your people more than helping them. That is why we especially like to call people such as Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. We call them fools because with them being in the position that they're in, they actually use their words to hurt us. They use their words okay, to, you know, how, you know, if I could, you know, to speak, to not speak life on us, but they actually speak death. They speak death upon us, man. All right, our so-called leaders do that because they are in bed and in business with our oppressors. Okay, they have rejected these scriptures. They have chosen to follow after our oppressors. Okay, for their own greed. All right, they are the fools. You know, and essentially, our people are fools for following them. Right, because again, these people are not pro-life, as you will. They are death. You follow them, you will follow after death. Right? Okay. Now, let's see. True Lashawan, you had something to say earlier? Come on in.
We're just staying on the top. I just picked up myself. I had one friend that Proverbs chapter 7, for example.
No sweat, no sweat. No sweat. Maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we'll get to it. We might say it for another time. We'll see about it. All right. So now, Officer Yahanna, you have the floor. Show off.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 21. Lashawan,
Absolutely. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Cool. So now, let's look at some words. Let's learn a few words. Let's see. We have the word mawaf. Mawaf. Put that in your notes. Mawaf is death. In this context, mawaf is death. All right. Mawaf is death. Okay. And let's see. Aha. Haya. Or excuse me, Salakia. Kaya. Salakia. Alright, this part right here. This part right here is life. Life. Let's see. Go ahead, come on in. Very good. That's correct. Yes. Yes. That's your question? Yes. When you hear that, especially because when you hear Jeremiah Hyman say that, Barakatah Yahweh Wah Yahweh Shai. That is what he is saying. He is saying, bless Yahweh with a Barak. Barakatah, bless you, Yahweh. Barakatah, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai. That is what he is saying. Yes. Cool. Now, let's see. Looking into this, let's see. Does anybody know what this class is, what we call this class? Other than Hebrews 101? Go ahead. Very good. Okay, so now, with that being said, word with the blue line. Lashawan. What is that? words can mean to, like, as in speaking, the tongue, and language. What is Qadash? Go ahead.
Holy or separate, Shalom.
There's no building. Absolutely, absolutely. Very good, very good, very good.
Shalom, Shalom.
Yes.
Could we also use set apart?
Huh?
If I may, could we also use set apart?
Set
Or
apart.
Qadash?
Well, I mean, if you're meaning separate, as in set apart, yes. I mean, because those essentially are the root words. Set apart, separate, separate. So yes, I would say yes, you can use that. Separate or set apart. Because when you separate, you are dividing, you are moving to another side. Yes. Very good, very good. All right. Oh, so like everybody has this? Everybody's read over this? Got it? Sis, you got any questions with this?
No, I know.
Okay, no sweat. Okay. All right, so now we will do our last scripture. We've gone over how the beginning of knowledge. So like we've gone over, yes, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge, wisdom. We've talked about how fools despise wisdom. We've also talked about how fools can also be intelligent and esteemed men if they know when and where to talk, when to be quiet. We've also talked about how loud women and effeminate men can be bewildered, distracted, and disoriented, and above all else, confused, especially not being in the truth. All right? And we've talked about how when people talk too much, they do not understand how life and death is in the power of the tongue and what they have to say. So now, with that being said, let us listen to these words. This will be our final scripture, okay? Let's turn to the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, verse 1. Chapter 7, verse 1, the book of Proverbs. For our trooper Lashawan. All right? This can actually be a good scripture for this class. So, yes. And that will also mean that Trooper Lashawan will be able to read this in the Hebrew flawlessly. All right? All right. So, Trooper Lashawan, you have that? Okay, no sweat, no sweat. Go ahead and read it for me in English. No, but I would like to read this in English in the meantime. Oh, okay, you know how you swore with you? Okay. Go ahead, go ahead. No sweat, no sweat. Okay. No sweat. All right, Trooper, Slacky, I'll say how we got. Read this one real quick in the English. All right. verse as a request for Triple Shine, but this can go with the class as well, because all of these scriptures that we have gone over, again, understand that the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. Understanding that fools can be, one moment, understanding that fools, when they close their mouths, they can be looked at as esteemed men of understanding. We've gone over how women and effeminate men, when they talk too much, they can be confusing. They can be confused. All right? And especially why? Because they don't understand that life and death is in the power of the tongue. All right? And so with that being said, all of these scriptures, these statutes, essentially follow under the commandments. They are commandments. Okay? They are something that we should abide by daily. Every day we should abide by these scriptures. All right? So again, we read, my son, keep my words. Okay, these scriptures are words from King Solomon, words from the Apostle Paul, words from Christ, words from King David, and above all else, words from the Most High. Keep these sayings, keep these words, okay? And what? Lay up my commandments in thee. Lay up my commandments in thee. What does that mean? To lay up these commandments in yourself. Talk to me.
From my understanding, you know what I'm saying, listening to General Behind and other generals and other General Yahanna, you know what I'm saying, the Hebrew language is spoken for Negroes, and that ain't what I want to say. It's a bigger language, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, what it's saying is, keep my words to lay up my commandments. What's it meaning, you know what I'm saying? It needs to be on your inside. The commandments need to be with you all the time. They can't depart from you. Just like you label for real, you know what I'm saying? You need to label these commandments. You need to have a relationship with these commandments. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. I see you with that. I see you. I'll talk to you a little later about that one. Okay, you almost went a little left one with me on that. You almost went a little left on me, talking about, you know what I'm saying, which read and everything like that. Because unfortunately, we do have a lot of Christians who like to try to spy on us and watch us, you know what I'm saying, to try to find anything that might seem disoriented, that might even seem perplexed and whatnot. And say that what we're talking about is confusing and whatnot, okay? Why? Especially, when you want to lay up with these scriptures, like how you would, you know what I'm saying, lay up with your rib and whatnot. Why? Because now a Christian will say, well, hey, I do that too in the spirit. I have a relationship with Christ. Christ is my homeboy. Things like that. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. You see what I'm saying? So we do have to be careful with that. All right. But what I was looking for, when you lay up with these commandments, lay up these commandments in you, in thee, okay? To store, to keep, as you said, but to store, to gather up, okay? Storage, all right? You know what I'm saying? Like when you have a pantry, you know what I'm saying? You got your canned goods, you got your non-perishables, you got your perishables, and whatnot. You have your refrigerator, you're storing up juices. Your deep freezer, you're storing up meat, you know what I'm saying, for the upcoming seasons. Store up these scriptures, store up these sayings, these commandments, just like you would food, okay? Just like you would, you know what I'm saying, just like you would store up food, you would store up drinks, you store up snacks, okay? As a matter of fact, even when you store up ammunition for your weapons, when you are storing up weapons, these scriptures right here, this language right here, this is our weapon. This is our ultimate weapon, all right? If you're familiar with the book of Eli, okay, you saw how the Edomite was going everywhere trying to find that one book. Why? Because he said there was power in that book. He said it was a weapon, and it is. But guess what? That Edomite wanted to use that weapon against the earth in a cruel manner. He wanted to use it in a cruel manner. But see, these commandments, these laws, these statutes, this weapon was given to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Why? Because it could be a righteous weapon to rule over the earth in righteousness. Okay? So that's why we have to store this. Hold on, that's why we have to store this up in us, okay? That's why we have to store this up in us, man. This is a weapon. This is a weapon, this is food, this is nutrients for us to survive and to take over this kingdom, right? This is what it's for, okay? Go ahead, brother, talk to me. Absolutely. Very good. Very good. That's right. That's exactly what we're talking about, man. That's exactly what we're talking about. Storing up these scriptures, man. Trying to feed our people. Not how the Christian church is doing. Not how the Christian church is doing. Not feeding them a song and a dance, man. But feeding them the word, feeding them the law, feeding them morals, and feeding them brotherhood and righteousness. All right? So now, with all of that being said, Trooper Gashan, you have had time to read over this. Don't let me down. Read this for me in the Hebrew, brother. Talk to me. Trooper Gashan, you up? Okay, no, so we might have a delay. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Good. All right. Good, good. A thought. Good. Okay, so now what I really wanted to hear was Bunya. It's not Bunaya. Bunya. Remember now, we especially we see this a lot in Exodus and Leviticus. We'll be seeing this in Numbers as well. Okay? Bunya means son. Bunya means son. Okay? So now we have Bunya, Shamar. Okay? And we'll have to, okay, now this should sound familiar because you will hear you hear this in the greeting for the sisters. Okay? And also brothers will hear this as well when it comes to security. For instance, today I am fortunate, I am blessed to have Officer Napash Kaya, Officer 50 on Shamar with me today. He is on Shamar. So now he is watching over. He is also, in this context, he is keeping. Shamar, in this context, Shamar means to keep. Keep. So with that being said, also Napash Kaya is keeping order in the school. He is making sure that nothing gets out of place, nothing gets out of pocket. Okay? Very good. Now we have Amaria. Okay, we have Amaria. All right? What does that mean? What is Amar? Amar is word. Or Amaria is words. So, son, keep words. Keep my words. All right? And very good, Gashan. Very good. I was very impressed with Wa Ma Tazawafya. Very good. Very good. If I'm correct, looking at the interlinear, the blue letter Bible, Wa Ma Tazawaf is commandments. Commandments. Okay? Then we have Ta Tazapan. Ta Tazapan. That should mean to lay up. Okay? And a thought, you or need. Need. So we have Banya, Shamar, Amaria, Wama Tazawafya, Tazapan, a thought. Alright? Very good, very good. Okay. So now, that being said, does anybody have any questions about what we read over and what was taught today? Any questions or comments? Talk to me. Go ahead, you have the floor. Yes.
This just say, it says my son. Instead of my son, it was plural. Would that be, my young? Or would it be something else?
It should be, if it was plural, as you mean like, as in like my sons or my children? Is that what you mean?
No.
Yeah, if I'm correct, it would be Banyam. Banyam. It will be Banyam. Yes, it should be Banyam. As a matter of fact, remind me, I will ask to make sure that I did give you the correct answer. But as far as I know, Banyam. But I will research that, all right? Absolutely, brother, absolutely. The water to you. The water to you, and all right? Officer Yahanna, you have anything?
No, Officer Yahanna.
Oh. My bad. Salaki. True Gashan, you got anything? Questions or comments? Okay. I could have sworn you said 7-1. No sweat. Maybe we might do verse 11 for another class. We'll see about it. No sweat. Nah, we're good. Yeah, you know what? Yep. We'll say that one. Yeah, we'll say that one, definitely. Sis, you have anything? Did you need to ask? Hey, Most High Christ. I'm glad. I'll say what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis. Well, Salakia, that's not me. That's Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. That's all. You know what I'm saying? And I give credit, you know what I'm saying, to brothers above me who have taught me. You know what I'm saying? And also who continue to teach me. You know what I'm saying? From all the way from brothers from Officer Kaz, Officer Lashawan above me, Officer Ricard, Officer Saquon, Officer Thumbayam, Officer Yawa, Officer Tazad, you know what I'm saying, Officer Yermaya. Brothers above me who have taught me. Captain Radazai who taught me, who continue to teach me. You know what I'm saying? That's why, again, we go over these scriptures, you know what I'm saying, we go over the basics, and we drill those in. We drill them in, just to make sure that people really have that, really have the pronunciation, have the understanding, you know what I'm saying, and bring it back to memory, man, and can help apply it, all right? Most High in Christ, Most High in Christ. And with that, the water, I'm sorry, go ahead, sis. Absolutely, absolutely. The water to everybody, and with that, we'll pass the class off to officer, the priest and officer affiliate, the Pashkaya.
Shalom, this is the I.S.U.K security announcements. We're the I.S.U.K started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for a new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they are living for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission for the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. My I.S.U.P.K means 10 in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the church department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for a priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you like to give. The next holy convocation is going to be the Feast of Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication. It's going to be on the 25th day of the 9th month. By the space of 8 days, it started at Sunday, November 28th sundown. From Sunday to Monday. Sunday to Sunday. So you can bring something to the temple, to the school. It was a feast day. We contact your camp leader to make sure it be the opening day or the last day. And make sure you contact your camp leader about that. It was on. It'll be for 8 days. It's in the book of Verse Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52 through 61. Remind Akim and Akwakim to check the bulletin board in the hallway, right here. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, sword. With that, being Israel, I might him. You understand in Hebrew? Being Israel, give one church salute to the men. Being Israel, I might him. I might him Sabbath. I might him. The rock. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Brakatham.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Brakatham.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Brakatham.
Good one. Well, I say to you in Hebrew, I'm translating in English. May the Most High, in the name of Christ, bless you. Yat, Matai, we hand down. We have a sister in class online. Give one curse to the sister. Me in Israel, I might Sabbath. I might. Rock. Yahweh Shabbat Alatab Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? Well, I said to the sister in Hebrew, may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yah Matai, and hands down, class is dismissed.
Hey, just in case, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Brakatham, my brother.